Lennox the Lion Lewis, Mr. Undisputed himself. Lennox has a shadow over the heavyweight division today, being that he was the last undisputed champion. He beat every man he faced and did so in one of the greatest eras for any division in boxing history. He had many blockbusters in the 90s, spread throughout the decade. He toppled some top names from the 80s and the early 90s, began his walk through the division with his vanquishing of Donovan Razor Ruddock, was set back in 94 by McCall, and climbed back to the top by going through the top names in the 90s, culminating with his victory over Evander Holyfield for the undisputed title in 1999. However, there's one year in particular that I'd like to draw attention to. In said year, Lewis appeared to hit his peak under Emanuel Stewart and took down three notable names. The first was the revenge he'd sought out for 3 years when he met Oliver the Atomic Bull McCall for the vacant WBC title. McCall had a breakdown during the bout and ultimately lost when referee Mills Lane had had enough of the shenanigans, but Lennox was cold and calculated on this night. He came in ready to destroy the man who conquered him and was winning the fight anyway up to that point. Lennox must have felt great in embarrassing the man who'd embarrassed him. The next bout was against former WBO champion Henry Akinwande. This is another controversial bout in which Akinwande was DQ'd for excessive holding. Lewis overwhelmed Huggin Henry so badly that he had no other choice but to hold. The final bout for Lewis was against the man he needed to make one final definitive statement against the man he never had the biggest super fight of the 90s with. Riddick Bowe and Lennox Lewis were derailed many times from meeting, and when it was clear it would never happen, Lewis targeted the man that had effectively retired Bowe, Andrew Galata, and he eviscerated him with stunning ease. It was a striking statement toward the retired Bowe. I would have beaten you the same way I just did the man who battered you like a punching bag. Now for criteria. The level of competition consists of 2 former champions and a championship caliber fighter. 3 fights on the year. Entertainment value is unquestioned with the spectacle of the McCall breakdown and the Akinwande disqualification, along with overall, this year would prove to be the thumbnail of sorts for Lewis's reputation of aging like fine wine. He was even better than he was as the young man with the thunderous right hand. In hindsight, there's zero doubt to me that this year is the best overall career year for the Lion. He redeemed his lone loss by breaking the man down, was so feared he was hugged, and easily dismissed the man who squared away the man whose shadow he was stuck in. Without a doubt, 1997 was the best career year for Lennox the Lion Lewis. See you next time, and stay frosty.